WWE SmackDown hits a 4-year low in ratings and viewership for last Friday's episode on USA Network. We've got all of the details on that, plus the fallout, the results from both WWE NXT versus TNA Showdown, as well as AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday. All this and more in this news update. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with some poor news when it comes to WWE Friday Night SmackDown's overall viewership and key demographic rating for last Friday's episode on USA Network. Now, last week's episode of WWE SmackDown hit a 4-year low in ratings and overall viewership. According to a report from Programming Insider, Friday's broadcast drew a 0.23 rating in the key 18 to 49 demographic and just over 1 million viewers, with 1.030 million viewers to be the exact figure. Those figures represent drops of 34.3% and 16.8% respectively from the previous week's strong numbers of a 0.35 key demo rating and 1.238 million viewers. Now, as has been reported previously, in early September, Nielsen has updated its measurement system to a Big Data Plus panel model. This combines Nielsen's traditional home panel data with inputs from devices like cable set-top boxes, satellite receivers, and smart TVs. The new method generally leads to lower viewership figures for wrestling shows, especially those with younger skewing audiences, though not always. The key takeaway is that comparing today's numbers directly with past ratings is proving to be tricky since they're being measured under a new system. Now, this applies to all wrestling shows on traditional TV moving forward, including SmackDown, WWE NXT, and AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision. So keep that in mind when looking at the comparisons to previous weeks. We'll likely see big drops for WWE NXT, AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, and WWE SmackDown moving forward. This has been the case for all of these shows in recent weeks since the change. Now, of course, if we get any more details on this, we'll let you know. But what are your thoughts on these numbers? Let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comment section below. Now let's move over to WWE NXT versus TNA Showdown, and Team TNA closed the night last night on the CW with a major victory. The final match of the evening at NXT versus TNA Showdown was the 4-on-4 men's elimination match between Team NXT, consisting of Javon Evans, NXT champion Ricky Saints, TNA World Champion Trick Williams, and Miles Bourne, against Team TNA, that being Moose, Mike Santana, Frankie Kazarian, and X-Division champion Leon Slater. The special guest referee for the bout was Joe Hendry, of course a TNA wrestler who's appeared very frequently on WWE NXT programming. The eliminations included Kazarian eliminating Miles Bourne and Slater eliminating his Bound for Glory opponent Javon Evans. Later in the bout, TNA World Champion Trick Williams opted to bail on NXT champion Ricky Saints and left him in a 4-on-1 situation. Saints was able to eliminate Kazarian and Slater, but he was unable to overcome Moose and Mike Santana. Santana wrapped up the bout by pinning Ricky Saints. Now, it was a positive when it comes to the women's elimination match for WWE NXT last night against TNA. The NXT Women's Champion pinned the TNA Knockouts World Champion. The first of the two 4-on-4 elimination matches at NXT vs TNA Showdown featured Team NXT, the NXT Women's Champion Jacy Jayne, Jada Parker, Lola Vice, and Sol Ruka, versus Team TNA, which was consisting of the TNA Knockouts World Champion, that being NXT superstar Kalani Jordan, Myra Sare, and Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee, the Inspiration. The special guest referee for the bout was Jordan Grace, of course someone who is a current NXT superstar, but is well known for her time in TNA as a multiple-time Knockouts World Champion. A pre-match note is that the Inspiration used their old WWE entrance theme. As for eliminations, Sade eliminated Jada Parker. Ruka then proceeded to eliminate Sade by hitting her with the Soul Snatcher. Lola Vice submitted the Inspiration members back-to-back, and that left Knockouts World Champion Kalani Jordan alone against Jane, Ruka, and Parker. Jordan eliminated Vice from the bout. Team NXT ended up securing the win after Ruka hit Jordan with a Soul Snatcher, but Jane tagged herself in while Ruka was mid-air. She jetted into the ring and pinned the current Knockouts World Champion. It was a major night for WWE legends the Hardy Boys as they are now double champions. Kicking off the in-ring action at NXT versus TNA Showdown was a double title winner-takes-all match that saw Dark State's Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin put their NXT Tag Team Championships up for grabs against Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy's TNA World Tag Team titles. Ringside for the match were TNA President Carlos Silva and Team 3D. We'll talk about that in just a second. Dark State's Saquon Sugars and Cutler James were ejected from ringside after Dark State jumped the Hardys before the bell rang. The match concluded with Matt hitting Griffin and Lennox with Twist of Fates. Jeff followed up by hitting a Swanton Bomb onto Lennox to capture the NXT Tag Team titles. The Hardys are now champions in WWE for the first time since 2019 when they were the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Now, as I mentioned, some WWE Hall of Famers were at ringside for this specific tag team match last night on the CW. NXT versus TNA Showdown emanated from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. And as I mentioned, opening the show was that winner-takes-all tag team title match. As the Hardys were making their entrance, cameras panned over to Team 3D, also known as the Dudley Boys, who were seated in the front row alongside TNA President Carlos Silva. At the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, the Hardys and Team 3D will meet in a tables match for the TNA World Tag Team titles, and it'll be the last time they face off in tag team competition. Now, also, last night, head-to-head with NXT vs. TNA Showdown was AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, and Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy have a ton of momentum. AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday was headlined by a heated contest between Orange Cassidy and Pac. This was the fifth time that Cassidy and the Bastard have faced each other in singles action, dating all the way back to their first match at the Revolution pay-per-view in 2020. In the closing moments of the match, Pac somehow lured Orange Cassidy into a set of bleachers. This worked out well for Pac as he proceeded to drop Cassidy on his dome with a tombstone pile driver. Pac then had his foot handcuffed to the railing by Darby Allin. This allowed Cassidy to find his way back to the ring, scoring himself the count-out victory. Pac was able to break the restraint, diving back into the ring just before the referee could count to 10. As soon as he made his way back to his feet, Cassidy trapped Pac in one of his signature pin attempts to score the victory. After the match, things continued to escalate as Darby Allin began to fight off individual members of the Death Riders. Darby then shocked fans by pulling out a Molotov cocktail and nearly throwing it at the faction. Instead, Darby Allin was tackled by security as the show came to a close. If we get any more details on what happened once the show went off the air, we'll let you know in a future video. And Mercedes Moné had an open challenge for her TBS championship last night and it was answered by a former WWE superstar. Lacey Lane made her AEW debut at AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, answering the open challenge of Mercedes Moné for the AEW TBS title. Moné said she wanted to face one of the best local talents in Florida, and Lane stepped up to the plate. Moné was victorious in the bout, finishing Lacey off with the Moné Maker. Of course, Lane is the former Kaden Carter in WWE. She was released by WWE back in May. She previously competed on Ring of Honor television. Now, a title match has been confirmed for the upcoming Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. Kyle Fletcher will put his AEW TNT title on the line against Mark Briscoe at AEW Wrestle Dream. The bout was confirmed at AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday yesterday on October 7th. Fletcher and Briscoe are 2-2 against each other. Briscoe won the first two matches, while Fletcher has won the last two. They last met at AEW Dynasty as part of the Owen Hart Foundation 2025 Men's Tournament. So that match is now set for Wrestle Dream. Going back to NXT versus TNA Showdown, Ethan Page is still the NXT North American Champion. The third NXT versus TNA bout on the night at NXT versus TNA Showdown saw Mustafa Ali, previously with WWE, now with TNA, challenging former TNA wrestler, now current WWE NXT superstar Ethan Page for the NXT North American Championship. As part of Mustafa Ali's entrance, it started with his first WWE theme song Go Hard, featuring Mano, before transitioning to his current TNA theme. The back end of the bout saw Ali dive onto Page, and they went over the commentary desk. As Ali was taking Page back into the ring, his foot got tied up in one of the commentary desk headset cords. By the time Ali noticed that the cord was tangled up in his foot, Page had regained his wits and shoved Ali off the top turnbuckle. He followed that up by putting Ali away with a twisted grin to retain the NXT North American Championship. Going back to Wrestle Dream, and another match has been confirmed for the upcoming pay-per-view. Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita of the Don Callis family will challenge Bro Dido for the AEW Tag Team titles at Wrestle Dream. Okada and Takeshita earned their match by defeating Bro Dido in a double Jeopardy match at AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday. The finish saw Okada hit the Rainmaker on Bandido after tagging himself in, while Takeshita was in control and setting up the running knee strike. Had Bandido and Brody won, the person who scored the pinfall would have earned a shot at Okada's AEW Unified Championship in the process. Another tag team match has been confirmed for Wrestle Dream as well, featuring the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday was a big homecoming for the Jurassic Express duo of Jungle Boy Jack Perry and Luchasaurus as they competed in tag team action for the first time since June 2022. After picking up the quick victory, the Young Bucks hit the ring and did some significant damage to Perry and his dinosaur. The former EVPs proceeded to challenge Jurassic Express to a tag team match at AEW Wrestle Dream. Later on in the night, AEW confirmed the match, revealing that $500,000 will be up for grabs in the match. This will be a tough test for Jurassic Express, as it will be their first pay-per-view since Double or Nothing in 2022. They defeated Swerve in Our Glory and Team Taz at the pay-per-view that year. The Hurt Syndicate got a measure of revenge on The Demand. AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday was home to a brutal six-man tag team match as the Hurt Syndicate's MVP, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, faced off against The Demand's Ricochet and the Gates of Agony in a street fight. The Hurt Syndicate gained the upper hand quickly, beating down their opponents with various weapons and objects. Despite being suplexed on the stage just moments before, Ricochet turned the tables a bit by cannonball diving on his team members and the Hurt Syndicate. As the show returned from commercial, Bishop Korn threw a chair at Bobby Lashley, preventing him from spearing Toa Leona through a table. Leona and Korn proceeded to toss Lashley through a table before setting him up on another one. Bishop Korn broke the table with an off-the-apron elbow drop. After doing some more damage, Korn tried to pin Lashley for the win. Eventually, the Hurt Syndicate started their comeback as Benjamin took out Leona with his signature jumping knee. Ricochet was nearly powerbombed through the table by Benjamin, but Korn made the assist with a steel chair. As the match went on, Lashley ended up taking out all three members of The Demand with separate spears. Soon after, Leona was on the receiving end of a table spot on the outside of the ring. This allowed the Hurt Syndicate to triple-team Ricochet for a brief moment. The win came for the Hurt Syndicate after Benjamin folded Ricochet with a released German suplex through another table. So the Hurt Syndicate coming out on top. And finally, several matches have been confirmed for next week's episode of WWE NXT on the CW. October 14th is the date for the next episode of WWE NXT on the CW, and the lineup for that show has now been announced. One of the bouts on the bill is going to see Josh Briggs taking on TNA's Matt Cardona. It will be Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder's first match under the WWE banner since his release in 2020. There is going to be a battle royal for a shot at Jacy Jayne's NXT Women's Championship. TNA Knockouts will be participating in the battle royal, and the winner of said battle royal will get their title match at NXT Halloween Havoc on October 25th. In addition to that, AAA's El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. is set for action against Lexis King in a non-title match. The match was set up when the current AAA Latin American champion was being interviewed backstage, and King interrupted. He was of the impression that it was Tavern Heights under the mask, as seeing how Heights sported the mask to catch Ethan Page by surprise ahead of their match at NXT No Mercy. In the segment with Wagner Jr. and King, after Wagner Jr. walked away, Heights came into frame. So that match set up for next week on the CW. But there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.